Well, we received the news with deep shock and sadness. The old man is rested. He had suffered, he had paid his dues for the freedom of South Africa's people. Some of us didn't sleep. We received the news and we were tweeting, we were crossing across channels, 3 hours of sleep. Here we are.
It doesn't matter which fraternity you're from, which sector of society you're from. Everyone has their special story about Mr. Nelson Mandela, whether they met him physically or whether it was an inspiration, a quote that they might have heard. Did this happen with the Black Business Council? Surely there might have been a value that lingered on when this council was born from Mandela.
Well, when Mandela became president, he was inundated with many requests for meetings from all sort of formations in business. And he decided, actually, you're talking the same message from different lips. Why don't you forge ahead and emerge with a united body of organized business and talk with one voice? We'll listen to you better. And therefore, the emergence of Musa, for example, was straight from Madiba's mouth. He is a man that believed enormously and strongly on the unity of all sorts of society formations, including business. And we actually cherish his memory to the extent that as Black Business Council and Musa will want to have a joint memorial service in the honor of Madiba, because he believed in the unity of all of business.
Lingering in many of the responses we've heard so far through the morning, many have alluded to the fact that we have a responsibility of honoring this overwhelming sense of togetherness, negotiations, understanding, something that one wouldn't argue lacks in that relationship between business and labor in our country. Very important when we think about the attachment of the economy at the moment. Is there a lesson for the climate at the moment that we can draw from his legacy?
Madiba, during his tenure as president of the ANC coined the phrase, a better life for all. Madiba believed in the growth of the economy because it is through a growing economy that the triple challenges of unemployment, inequality, and poverty could sustainably be addressed. So it is our belief that practical examples where Madiba intervened on massive strikes like SAA, and he used his tactics to strong arm labor into a settlement, where perfect demonstrations of him said, look, yes, labor laws, labor relations must be respected, but at the end of the day, you must not hurt the economy. So it is very important that all the social partners, government, labor, business, and civic organizations, always remember that Madiba said there must be a social dialogue, but at the end of the day, the economy must grow sustainably, because these triple challenges will not go away.
Interesting quote this morning from someone who reflected, saying that while Mr. Mandela had the interests of his political ideology in place, he never ignored the interest of the entire nation when deciphering the way forward politically. There's a lot of sense in that, isn't there?
Well, Madiba belonged to all of us. Of course, his home, political home, from his mouth was the ANC. He even argued when he goes to heaven, the first thing he'll look for is the branch of the ANC. So let's not underplay that, but he belonged to all of us. Madiba rose above petty differences at a political level. He rose above petty differences at social partnership level. He forged ahead for unity of all of people. He protected the interests of children, whether they be white children, whether they be African children, whether they be Bedi children. He believed in the interests of children. And he argued very strongly for the rights of women in society. So he's a man that rightfully deserves to be elevated to the level where only angels belong.
Oh, well, thank you very much indeed. Sandile Zungu, Secretary General of the Black Business Council, thanks very much indeed for your reflections.
Thank you.